And welcome back to All Clear. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a really good one, ladies and gentlemen, because we are opening up the floor to all of the awesome people who are subscribed to me on Twitch and everything. If you're not watching on Twitch, watching on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, hey, come over and drop a subscription over to your boy here so you can join in on the fun. But let's get over here and see what's going on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. So good to have y'all here. Welcome back to another episode of All Clear. For any of you guys who are watching this live, yes, we are live. If you guys want to catch this live, make sure you follow me on Twitch. It's Sloppy_Joe. I don't live stream every single episode, but I figured, hey, do it every once in a while and everything. So, you know, always kind of gives a good opportunity for people to kind of watch it live, get that live interaction and everything, and maybe even open up the phones to all you awesome people out there watching. But we got a lot to talk about here today. So it was a really good week of racing for what product we had, right? And I'm stretching that because Phoenix is Phoenix. All right, let's just get that out of the way. Phoenix is always going to Phoenix. All right, it don't matter what NASCAR brings, option tire, whatever. The track just ain't it anymore. Okay, the track just ain't it. It was good back when it had grass. Okay, it was good back when it had grass. I'll even say the Gen 6 car ran that track really well. But as soon as that next gen went to Phoenix, explosion. Big explosion when it came to how that car and how that track just made a racing baby that is just like the worst creature to be ever made in NASCAR. I still can't believe this place is still the championship finale, even though it has like some close finishes, like Kevin Harvick and Carl Edwards. Again, I will say that was the Gen 6 car. Okay, next gen, you know, Christopher Bell had to, you know, use Denny Hamlin a little bit to move up and make that finish even happen. Same with Aric Almirola and Alex Bowman. But yeah, really fun episode here today. You are going to hear some of my very awesome subscribers who are big supporters of me. They help me pay my bills, basically. You know, we're really going in. We're really making this seem like a real sports show. So we're gonna make this a lot of fun for today and everything. But let's go ahead and look at the Cup race. You know, that's obviously the most important thing here. You know, Christopher Bell taking the win over Denny Hamlin, led 105 laps. I mean, arguably the most dominant car all day long. Bell goes on to win 3 in a row. I mean, holy shit, y'all. I mean, this guy, 3 in a row. And I've heard for a while, this guy was always so close to breaking through, right? It's never been that Christopher Bell has been a bad driver or hasn't been the it guy that can go do it. It was a matter of when it was all going to come together and he was going to put the pieces together at Joe Gibbs and go for a run. Now, I'm not going to make any calls here, but winning 3 races in a row to start the season basically after the 500. And there's more significance behind these 3 wins, y'all, because really put this all together. He won a plate race, a road course, and now one of the typical mile to mile and a half tracks, okay? He has won one of every category of racetrack, besides a short track. I mean, I don't know. I guess you can call Phoenix. I wouldn't call Phoenix a short track. It's not a short track, but I don't know. Some people may call it that. I don't. I'm not one of those people. But for the man to win 3 in a row, especially in the next-gen car, that tends to allow more cars to be competitive up front and keep the field really close. That really says something about that 20. That really says something about that Joe Gibbs team. And they look really good, y'all. I mean, they look really, really good. I'm even saying he can go for 4. He's really good at Las Vegas. I mean, he can go in there and win 4 in a row, which hasn't been done since, I know the last guy who was close to getting it was Kevin Harvick back in 2018. I believe the last driver to win 4 in a row was, it's not Jeff Gordon. I think it was Richard Petty. I think Richard Petty is the only guy to have won 4 in a row or more. Or was it Edwards? I cannot remember who it was, but I know it hasn't happened in a long time. So is it possible? Yes. Will it happen? I mean, most people would say no, but man, how can you say no to how that 20 car has been? I mean, he has been dominant, right? I mean, and Alcota too. There was like 3, 4, 5 other guys that probably could have won that race, but Bell was there at the right time. He made the right move. He held off a hard charging Tyler Reddick and William Byron. So you got to give him credit for there. He wins at a play track at Atlanta, which arguably takes more skill to win at Atlanta right now than it does Daytona and Talladega with these cars. The man is on a mission right now. I mean, it is fair to say right now that right now you can call him an early favorite championship contender. You can call him that. I know it's really early in the season, but 3 wins in this car with how these cars run and how they're the main goal of these cars is to keep the field close and to keep it more entertaining. And this man is able to find a way up to the front every time and have the best car to start the season off, basically. So it's scary for the competition right now. And it's hard to win these races. You know, you hear drivers say it all the time how hard it is to win these races, right? You hear guys like even Larson, Hamlin, Elliott, a bunch of them say how hard it is to win now that it ever has been before. So I mean, Bell is just insane. I'm willing to say Christopher Bell is probably going to hit the 5-win category this year, maybe even pushing the 6. If you hit 5 or 6 wins in a season, you are flat out dominant. Like if you win 5 to 6 races a season, your team is one of the best teams of the season, probably going to go to the championship for, unless something absolutely crazy happens in the playoffs, which we have seen before quite a few times. So also want to give a shout out to Rob Dylan Gaming in the live chat of this podcast. He just mentioned that the last one to win 4 races in a row was Jimmy Johnson back in 2007. That just shows you how long it's been. It's almost been 20 years since someone has won 4 races in a row in the Cup Series. Moving on to the rest of the finishing order here. Denny Hamlin, hard charge there to make it a finish right there. So close to winning that race. Did Christopher Bell use him up a little bit? Yeah. I would definitely cut some more slack off of Bell than I would Almirola, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Kyle Larson finishing 3rd. Josh Berry. Big shout out to the man Berry, the king of berries, Mr. Josh Berry for Wood Brothers right there. Started 4th and finished 4th. He didn't just run in 4th all day, y'all. He lost track position and worked his way back up to a 4th place finish, not by luck, but by speed, okay? Watch that 21 car this year. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and win 4 or 5 races, y'all, but I'm going to say right now, watch Josh Berry to be a sleeper contender to make the playoffs this year in that 21 car. I promise you right now. They got a guy in that car now who can wheel that thing. He's got more experience now with this next-gen car. He's got the Penske affiliation. They have a wheel man behind that 21. Not to take anything away from Harrison Burton. I think Harrison Burton is a race car. He is a talented race car driver. Okay, he is there for a reason. Okay, he's won Xfinity races. He won Cup last year. Okay, but I think Josh Berry is just a level ahead of Burton, and he's able to drive that 21 car maybe better than Burton can. But we'll see what happens. I'm rooting for Burton though. I'm rooting for Harrison Burton. We need to see more father-son duos have longer histories in the sport. I'm rooting for Harrison. Chris Buescher finishing 5th. Again, one of the most underrated contenders in the Cup Series. He is so consistent, but he's so quiet when he does it. He gets a top 5 right there. Willie B started on pole, finishing 6th. Alex Bowman 7th. Kyle Busch in 8th. Zane Smith for front row, finishing in 9th. And Chase Elliott rounding out the top 10. Looked as though he was not going to finish top 10 whatsoever. Somehow he gets a top 10 right there. Moving on to the rest of the field. Ross Chastain 11th. Austin Dillon 12th. Joey Logano in 13th. John Hunter in 14th. Again, another solid run for Legacy there. In 14 for John Hunter. Hey, not bad at all. Ryan Preece in 15. Thought he might have had a shot to win that thing if the caution didn't come out. Ty Dillon, Todd Gilliland, Eric Jones, Cindric, and Tyler Reddick rounding out your top 20. Going through the rest, Ricky Stenhouse in 21st. Allmendinger in 22nd. Suarez 23rd. Cody Ware 24th. Ty Gibbs, man, what a rough start to the season he is having. He has not finished in. He only has 1 finish in the top 20 in his last 9 starts. That's a Joe Gibbs car, by the way. Noah Gregson's bad luck continues after having a good run in COTA. He finished 26th after being involved in a crash. Michael McDowell in 27th. Blaney with the blown motor in 28th. Bubba, flat tire in 29th. Catherine Legge, it's one of those two. Listen, actually, I'm going to get into this after I go through the rest of this. Shane Vangisberg in 31st. Custer in 32nd. Keselowski 33rd. Justin Haley 34th. Chase Briscoe in 35th. Hocevar in 36th. Man, he looked like he had a really good car. And Riley Herbst rounding out the field. I'm going to go back to Catherine Legge right here, okay? I'm going to go back to Catherine Legge. I'm on social media, and I see the things people say. I see certain influencers who I consider friends say things, right? they're being funny. They're going out there. They're being themselves on the platforms and everything. But listen, I'm gonna be one of those people that says right now, I don't think Catherine Legge deserves the hate that she's getting. Okay. May I remind all of you that this woman stepped into a cup car with little to no laps and little to no practice. She had a practice session and she ran a qualifying time that I know it was the slowest, but for the amount of time she was able to get in that car and to run a lap time that she did and to not be too far off of the next position is actually pretty impressive. And I know she self-spun on lap 1 or 2, but after that, I mean, she did a pretty solid job. And before she was involved in that wreck that took out Daniel Suarez, she was running 28th, 27th. Now, I know a lot of cars wrecked out right there, but hey, you finished in the top 30 in your first Cup start in an underperformed car. I mean, you go home with that with a smile on your face no matter what, especially if the car is clean. She made a mistake. She washed up the track, got loose and spun. Suarez had nowhere to go. Tough break for the 99. It sucks. And I just hate all of the negative influence she's getting because I think it has to go back to NASCAR a little bit, right? Because Kevin Harvick mentioned it on his podcast, which, by the way, love Harvick's show. It's very informative. It gets right to the point. He is so knowledgeable when it comes to the sport, and I always love his opinions on this stuff. So I draw a lot of influence from Kevin Harvick, right? Legend. True legend. First ballot Hall of Famer to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Anyways, though, I think it has to do more with the protocol and the procedure that NASCAR has to let these drivers into the top series of their sport, like the NFL, the MLB. You don't just have people that just announce, hey, we're going to put, I'm trying to think of a player. We're going to go ahead and put, I don't know, I'm trying to think of somebody. Quinn Ewers, like quarterback for Texas, or Jalen Miller from Alabama, right? Okay, it's not like they're just chilling and all of a sudden during the middle of their season, they go, hey, he's going to go play an NFL game next week. That's not how it works, okay, in NASCAR. Catherine Legge, I don't know if she has really done anything lately. I don't even know if she's racing full-time in anything. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. I don't really follow her that much. But all of a sudden, I saw this rumor that she's racing, and I thought, hey, this is cool, but where's the consistency when it comes to this protocol to get into this, you know? And Catherine Legge did what she had to do. She got approved. It's not like she begged NASCAR to approve her. They approved her. And she was the cause of 2 incidents on Sunday. One was a self-spin, and one was someone that took out a car who was running in the top 10. That obviously probably did not make her feel good whatsoever. But I just really hope that now that the race weekend is over, that people can kind of take a step back and say, listen, we can't throw all these memes and all this stuff towards her because, granted or not, I mean, I'll admit it. She may have wrecked. She may have been running dead last pace the entire race, but she's probably a much better race car driver than me and hundreds and thousands of people in the world. And she got put into arguably the worst car in the field with little to no practice, held her own well for the most part until it just ran out and she caused an incident and she probably felt awful about it. And obviously Daniel Suarez was really upset about it. And he actually, there was a little documentary in his hauler. And he mentioned how he's not mad at her. Like, he's not mad at the 78. He's mad at the procedure that NASCAR has to allow her to race in the top series of the sport so quickly with little to no stock car background or experience to know how these cars race. And that can cause issues. You know, we don't really see in the playoff races that much, which thank God. But who knows? That finish right there from Suarez could have been the make or break for him to make the playoffs. Suarez may not win a race this year. And those points he lost where he was running top 10 could be the determining factor if he gets one of those 16 spots to make the playoffs. So in the end, it does matter a lot. And Suarez is more upset about that. And that just kind of goes back to NASCAR's inconsistencies, right? Because I know I'm going to bring the name. I know it's been going around a lot, but like Mike Wallace got denied to even try to race his way into the 500, okay? Helio Castroneves, again, if I said that wrong, sorry. But, you know, he got the all-access pass to go, held his own for the most part, had an incident or two, but, you know, Catherine Legge gets in, no problem. and caused one of the top 10 drivers to crash. Almost took out Ryan Blaney too. So I really hope after this weekend that NASCAR takes a look back at their procedure of how they let drivers in. Because once again, I am not hating on Catherine Legge, the driver or the person whatsoever. She is talented. She can drive almost anything that has wheels and an engine in it. Okay, she's a race car driver for a reason and has a long history of open wheel racing. I know she can do it. Okay, and for the most part, she did a solid job. She made a mistake, she messed up, and she's getting lots of criticism for it. And I think it has more to do with the NASCAR side. So I really hope NASCAR at the end of it just kind of takes a look back at their procedure of how they let drivers who may not have a lot of NASCAR experience race at their top level. Because we want them to race, right? A fever dream, like Kimi Raikkonen last year got to race. Helio this year. Jordan Taylor last year, or 2 years ago, subbing for Chase Elliott. Now we have Shane Van Gisbergen running full time. We want these names to come in here, but I feel like the protocol now has to be looked at a little bit better, right? Because plate racing is a little different. It's full throttle or hit the brakes and miss the wreck, right? This is lots of on and off throttle time, lots of multi-group stuff going on, craziness all around. So hopefully they take a look at it. I would love to see Catherine come back and race Cup Series when the time is right. I hope she gets a better opportunity, maybe in a slightly better car that can run okay-ish lap times. So, that's we'll see something there. But yeah, we talked about Christopher Bell already winning 3 in a row. More than likely, he's going to have a great shot going for 4 in a row. I mean, first time someone will have done that since Jimmy Johnson in 2007. Some other notable performances I just want to mention here real quick. Ty Dillon, I know Ty Dillon, he kind of gets the bad shots at jokes sometimes as like the other Dillon brother, but man, dude, if the tire strategy worked out just a little bit better, Ty Dillon may have been fighting for a Cup win with colleague on an oval or something that isn't a road course, which would have been huge, probably even a top 5. Ryan Preece was on his way right there. I loved the optional tire. I loved it. I think that tire should be the main tire now, honestly, for Phoenix and hopefully other tracks, because the pace of the cars picked up. These guys were able to go to the top, to the bottom, to the middle, and run multiple grooves at Phoenix, and it opened up the passing game quite a bit. Do these cars, with that tire, does it make these cars instantly better? No, there's still things that need to be changed. But that tire definitely did make a difference, though, when it came to the racing. We saw how quick that tire was when Preece was going up the field. It made a lot of the positions move up and down. It really changed the strategy up. But, man, give me a Phoenix race where that is the tire for the entire race, and you got yourself a much better show. Car still needs work, though. Like, I'm all about taking the bottom off and taking the downforce off these things and letting these drivers get back at the helm and just drive the asses off these cars. Like, seriously, like put the fucking engine power back in the car, right? Come on, man. Like, come on, man. I'm waiting for that announcement for NASCAR. It's like, all right, we fold. We're putting the engine power back in these things. So I'm hoping that happens here. But hey, that is not the only thing that we got to talk about, right? The Cup Series race was good for the most part. I still have a lot of problems with Phoenix. I again, that tire definitely did help a lot. I just don't think this car and track combo is what the championship finale needs right now. I would love to see it go to Las Vegas. I would love to see it go even to Charlotte, the capital of NASCAR. I would love to see it even go there. So I think that would be great. But there's more to talk about with Phoenix, right? Because we have an Xfinity race too, and boy, did it have some drama at the end. Quick little rundown, just some notable ones. We have to go through the entire thing. But Aric Almirola taking the dub for Joe Gibbs. Alex Bowman looked as though he had it won, finishing second. Brandon Jones, probably his best run I've seen this. This is the best run I've seen this man have in the Xfinity series in a minute. So good for him. Ryan Sieg, dude, maybe the comeback of the weekend. Justin Allgaier in 5th, Taylor Gray 6th, Mayer 7th, Eckes in 8th, Jesse Love 9th, Sanchez rounding out the top 10. How about Parker Retzlaff in 11th right there? Good for him. Some other good runs. Connor Zilisch kind of fell off a little bit. I think he had a penalty on pit road. He gets 16th. He was running top 10 for the most part right there. Some other solid run. I know Carson Quaffle had some issues and everything. He finished 26th and everything. William Solowich, rookie in the Xfinity Series, he finishes 14th. 13th. He started 6th. Brennan Poole, solid run for Alpha Prime. Kyle Sieg, a top 20. So yeah, there's some good runs up here, and this is why I love the Xfinity Series, man, because there's so many good names in this series and so many good teams. That's why I think we're just gonna have so many winners in the Xfinity Series this year, and I think it's gonna be a really, really good year. The racing has been solid. I know it's still Phoenix, but I'm excited for Las Vegas. But let's go back and circle back to that top 2, right? Alex Bowman and Aric Almirola. Okay, so obviously, Aric Almirola obviously does not run full time anymore. He runs part time in the Xfinity Series for Joe Gibbs Racing. Alex Bowman, full time Cup driver, running a brief schedule for the 17 of Hendrick Motorsports. So 2 Cup / Talents racing for the win. Alex Bowman pulls off one of the most badass moves I've seen for a restart in a little while. He took it 4 wide coming out of turn 2 to take the lead away from Justin Allgaier, and looked as though he had it in the bag. He takes the white flag, and as they're coming around, going down that back straightaway and going to that final corner, Bowman took the corner easy. Almirola was like, maybe like a car length and a half or 2 back. I mean, Almirola would have had to go full throttle basically if Bowman took the bottom to even just like ram him out of the way. But Alex Bowman looked at Aric Almirola with respect and gave Almirola some room because he didn't think Almirola was going to send it in there. Well, Almirola goes ahead and sends it in there. He gets loose and admitted in his victory lane interview that he did use up Bowman and kind of put him in the wall, even though he got a little loose, and took the win. And of course, there was a lot of controversy with this one because Alex Bowman played it safe, and Aric Almirola, the whole bottom was open. He went up there and kind of put Bowman in the wall, and the car had a lot of damage, and obviously you have to go back to the shop and fix all that, which isn't fun for the shop. It's not fun for the shop people to take a car that looked like it was going to win the race, and all of a sudden it's all damage, second place, and all the money that they just won from that race is going to go basically to repairing that car. So ironically, too, if you think about it, Joe Gibbs pretty much won the weekend, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. So let's go into this, right? Bowman and Aric Almirola. I'll go ahead and say it on my side of things. I just don't see why would you leave the bottom open, right? Because I know you're trying to race clean. You think you got it in the bag, and you're trying to give your opponent some respect. Like, they're not going to do this to me. Listen, Aric Almirola has nothing to lose, y'all. He's not racing full-time anymore. He's racing part-time Xfinity. For all we know, that could have been his last win of his entire racing career right there. He saw the opportunity, and he took it. And he used up Bowman a little bit and got loose and went up into the wall a little bit. Bowman took the safe route, but also wanted to get that run from the middle off to carry that speed. He did not think Almirola was going to send it in there like that and go up the track. So I'll be honest, I'm shocked there wasn't a bit more controversy after the finish. I'm shocked there wasn't like Bowman trying to go over to Almirola and everything, but he's got his kids running up there to the car. He's got his wife. I don't think Bowman wanted to be that guy and infiltrate that sweet family moment right there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man, because like, in my opinion, I would have just went to the bottom. I would have went to the bottom and just ran the corner clean because Almirola would have had to have the run of a lifetime if he went to the middle top to make that run happen and take the win. I think Bowman had it locked. I get he was playing it safe. I understand it completely. But I think right here, I mean, Almirola has nothing to lose. This man, is not running full time anymore, guys. And like when he sees the opportunity, he's gonna fucking take it. He's gonna take that thing. And I get Bowman's frustration. I get other people's frustration. I mean, hell, I'm all about racing clean. I want people to race me clean on iRacing and all that stuff, and I want the same respect. But I think on that last lap, at that point, you just got to predict that your opponent is going to drive you like a maniac and probably bump your ass out of the way. You go to the most protective lane and keep your car down there, and I just think he should have went to the bottom. We're kind of at that point of the show where I want to open it up a little bit. I want to talk to some of the viewers. So if you are listening to the show, I want you all to go join the Sloppy Universe Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord and everything, to possibly have your opportunity to come speak on the show, I will put a Discord link in the description of this when it is uploaded to Spotify and YouTube and Apple playlists. So we're gonna open up the room to callers for the show. So if you guys want to hop on over to the Sloppy Universe Disco, yeah, it's a disco in here. The Sloppy Universe Discord, and hop in one of those voice channels right there, preferably the General Watch Party one. Any of those, we will get you here on the show. Who's gonna be that first caller? All right, Rob Dillon, you're on the air with All Clear. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Joey?
I am doing good, Rob. So, what's your question, man? What's your topic? What do you want to talk about?
So obviously we know that Phoenix had, maybe some above average racing, but
Mm-hmm.
nothing too so spectacular. Obviously, we both agree it's not worthy of the championship finale.
Rightfully so. Yep.
My question is Phoenix more suited to just be a track for maybe Xfinity Truck and ARCA and just taking off the Cup schedule completely?
Ooh, that's a really good question right there. It's oof. I would say that. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, if NASCAR decided to do that, I wouldn't be mad about it because I mean, and now for all the nostalgic fans, Phoenix has been part of the sport since I think like the 90s, maybe even the late 80s and everything. I know Alan Kulwicki won the inaugural race there. I'm pretty sure it was Rusty Wallace or Alan Kulwicki that won the inaugural race there. So that shows you how long this track has been at the top of the schedule for the Cup Series. So, but when you look at the product, right, and you're a Cup Series fan, and you sit back in your seat, you're not really entertained unless your driver wins this race. And it not saying it comes down to luck, but if your driver has the track position and has that clean air, it's it's hard for that person to lose the lead unless something happens like a pit cycle issue or something mechanical happens or a bad pit stop and everything. But you see how hard it is to pass. But the Xfinity cars and the trucks and ARCA don't seem to really have that problem when they come here. They're able to kind of move around the track and generate those runs. But with these cars, though, with that dirty air, it really can't happen. So listen, I mean, you know what? I like jumping into the fire sometimes. I would not mind if NASCAR decided maybe for a year or so to give Phoenix a break from the Cup side and give Xfinity the main show for that track because I really do think the racing on the Xfinity side is really entertaining for that track. It just fits those cars very well. They have more horsepower, they have less downforce, they're able to move all around the track, go all the way to the bottom in turns 1 and 2, which the Cup cars you don't really see that a whole bunch, and they can't generate the runs. They do better even going down to the dog leg too. Those Cup cars going down there bump so much, and apparently it hurts like hell too when they go down there. The Xfinity cars don't really have that issue, along with the trucks and everything. So, yeah, I mean, I am all for that. I think that'd be a really fun and innovative thing to do for a year or so, just to kind of make sure that the car and series that goes there can provide a really fun show. Now, here's where I would throw a little bit of a twister into it, right? Since we're already on the West Coast there, and let's say you wanted to make the main show at Phoenix the Xfinity Series, the Truck Series, and ARCA. So you still have 3 races that weekend, but no Cup Series. But what if the Cup Series went right up the road a little bit to a green Sonoma? Okay? Just as an option. But there's also other tracks out there that those guys can go to that they can probably race at or that aren't that far away. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for that idea, Rob, and I think that's a really innovative idea that would really give Xfinity a big spotlight, right? We always talk about how the Xfinity series is like that's the main show now. Apparently, that's the show that provides the best racing right now on the circuit. So put that series on national TV, put them on Phoenix, and see what happens. I like that. I like that question a lot.
Yeah,
Now,
I definitely feel like, and not to mention too, like obviously Xfinity on the CW has been garnering a lot of views. Like they haven't been under 1.2 million viewers yet this season. But you got to think maybe instead of just Cup racing, maybe at Sonoma or at Vegas that week, maybe they give Cup the week off and just make the Xfinity race on a Sunday night.
yeah. Listen, I mean, I've always liked Phoenix at nighttime anyway, so I'm all for that. I'm cool with that. I'm all about just exploring different opportunities to let these series kind of shine and have their own spotlight. And if a track like Phoenix isn't like, providing what the Cup guys need and what these cars need, give the other series an opportunity and show, like, let's see what this track can do with the right car and tire combo.
Yeah, and I think it's funny that you mentioned the tire combo too, because go back to the Cup Series, they brought in the option tire, and while it seemed to work really well, I feel like the big problem is that it lasts way too long.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think I definitely think it is like it definitely is too long and all that. I'll ask you this, Rob, since we talked about your question. I'll ask you as a fan, someone who's calling in and everything. Which, by the way, guys, if you are watching the show right now, if you are part of my Discord, you are more than welcome to come in and voice your opinion. Or if you have a question for me about the racing or any racing topic, come join. You are more than free to come on and join the show. Be part of All Clear. Rob, I'll ask you this real quick. Squeaky door. Hang on. That squeaky door is a menace. Okay. But anyways, yeah. As I was saying, Rob, let me ask you this. What was your general your general take of the weekend of racing? Like, what was your opinion on it?
It was good. I do think that the lower tier series Arc and Xfinity definitely was the better races of the weekend. I still find it very hard for a weekend to top Coda though. In my opinion, I think Coda is going to
Mm,
be race weekend of the year.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree right now. I think Coda right now has definitely been a fantastic show so far this season. I would even say, too, like, listen, if the Xfinity race was just a little bit better, I would even say Atlanta could have been number one. Xfinity was definitely a bit of a drag until the end. The Cup show was amazing until the caution at the end that ended that finish. But yeah, like I think Coda was great. I still cannot believe the Truck Series didn't even go to Coda this year. I thought it would be great to have all three series there. I can't believe they didn't bring all three series.
Yeah, I think it's definitely weird. I know that trucks run about 10 less races than the Cup Series in general, but I feel like if you're already running the Xfinity Series like 30, 32 races, and obviously Cup's 36, why not make the truck schedule more like 28 or 30 races?
Yeah, all very good. Yeah, you're not wrong whatsoever. I've always been a fan of, listen, like, if the resources are there and the money is there, why aren't all these series just going to these tracks at the same time and having three races a weekend? Because I just feel like that would bring a lot of revenue to NASCAR to have all these series be at the same track. And I know some tracks may not be able to hold all these cars and haulers and everything, but I've seen them do it in the past before. Takes a little bit of brainstorming how to maneuver all that stuff like Pac-Man and everything, but they've been able to make it work. But yeah, Rob, thank you so much for joining the show. I appreciate your voice and your opinion. And next time we have one of these, be sure to call back and we'll try to get you on.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like we do have another caller wanting to come in, so let's see if we can get someone in here. And Jackhammer, you are on All Clear. How you doing, man?
Doing well, doing well. How about yourself?
Can't complain here. Just running the show. What do you want to talk about, Jackhammer?
Um, do you think Chris Farrell's going to go 4 in a row?
That's your main question?
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause I got a good take.
Okay. I want to put, if I can give you odds from like 1 to 100, like just percentage wise, if he's going to do it, I would put it at a really solid 70% chance of him doing it, maybe 65, because yeah, I think the mile and a half here is going to be a true test, right? We know Bell's good at Phoenix, okay? We know they got something good here, but what are these other teams going to have here for Las Vegas? It's a big question mark. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen here. And that's why I mentioned before, why I think you got to watch out for the Chevy camp, right? You got to watch out for the Hendrick cars. They run pretty well here. Look out for Kyle Busch in the A car. Look out for Carson Hocevar and Spire in the Chevy camp there. But don't forget about Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney. I mean, this could be a race where Joey Logano wins his first race of the year, or even Ryan Blaney. That's why I think I circle Las Vegas as like one of the most exciting races of the season early on, because you really get to see what these guys are bringing from the mile and a half program. But what's your take on it, Jackhammer?
I gotta say, I'm gonna give 50% on Bell, because
Okay.
back with Larson in 21, we all thought he was going 4 in a row. He blew a tire last lap. Harvick in 2018 blew it. Not blew a tire. He got wrecked at Fontana. And it seems like any driver nowadays that gets close to 4 in a row never gets it done. I don't think it's gonna change with Bell.
Yeah, and listen, that's not a hot take, really. I mean, that's just numbers, right? That's just statistics right there. I mean, it's already hard enough to win in the Cup Series. It's already hard enough to win 2 in a row. Now 3 in a row. Now you're going for 4 in a row against the best stock car drivers in the world at
I
a
believe
track.
he's the first driver who's gone 3 in a row since Larson in 21.
I'm
not 100% sure on that.
I think the last one to win 3 in a row and go for 4, I believe, was Kevin Harvick in 2018.
Yeah.
I believe that was the last one. Larson was close. I think he won like 2 in a row. Then he didn't win 1. Then he won the next week. So I believe Harvick was the last one to go for 3 in a row, going for the 4. No, and I don't think it's a hot take at all, man. Because listen, the Cup Series is meant to be the top series of NASCAR, like the greatest stock car drivers in the world. And the way this next gen car is, especially these mile and a halves, it's supposed to kind of keep the field closer together. There's not a lot. There's a lot of downforce, not a lot of horsepower here. These cars do not vibe with dirty air, so it's
Which
very
obviously
hard.
needs to change.
Oh yeah, that's a whole topic for another day. But I'm willing to put Christopher Bell's chances of going for a 4-peat around the 65 percentile, maybe 70. I might bump it up to 70, 75, depending on how the weekend goes, because I don't know if they have practice or not. I know, obviously, qualifying. I think they do the practice qualifying.
There should be a practice session before qualifying.
Yeah, so we'll see where he qualifies and everything and what goes on right there. But, yeah, I'm willing to put it around like a 65%. That's going to be my final stamp right there until I see how qualifying goes and everything. Because if that man wins the pole, I'm just going to put it at 95% and say, sayonara, he's going for a 4-peat. It's happening unless something crazy happens, like he blows a tire and everything.
Last guy to do was JJ in 2008, I believe.
2007 is when Jimmy Johnson.
2007.
Yep. 2007. He won 4 in a row, and I believe that was when he was in the chase when he did it. That's arguably the reason why he beat Jeff Gordon in the championship. He won 4 in a row. Just got all the maximum points, basically almost that point, and unfortunately took the GOAT's 5th championship away. He took the GOAT's 5th championship away. That's a topic for another one right there. Yeah. Any other questions, Jackhammer, in regards to?
Not really, Joey.
Okay. Well, cool. Jackhammer, thank you for joining the show. All clear. Really do appreciate you, and maybe we'll see you next time.
Anytime.
All right. Nice. We got a couple callers in there. Really nice. We got enough room for maybe one more. All right, listen, we got one more caller joining here. Mr. Danny, Dove God Wells.
Let's go.
You're on all clear, man. What you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know what everyone else has been talking about.
We talked about the chances of Bell going for 4, and we talked about the possibility of maybe making Phoenix like an Xfinity main show track and take the Cup Series away. So that's sort of the main 2 things we've talked about.
Okay. Well, if you had my opinion, I'd say you just demolished Phoenix in the first place.
It's up there. I mean, I'm not too far away from that predicament. I'm not too far away from that opinion. But
yeah, no, I wouldn't. I'd get rid of Phoenix. I would bring back a certain track, Illinois. It's likely.
I'm not opposed to it.
I am not a rep of NASCAR or anything like that, but bring back Chicago in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, Chicago literally was on a great streak of races and finishes there until they closed the track for some reason. I mean, it was having some fantastic racing. One of the craziest finishes between Larson and Busch that NASCAR has ever seen at a mile and a half. away from that, was there anything, any questions or topics you want to discuss about Phoenix or Vegas or anything going on?
For Vegas, see, I will watch out. Probably better race than Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want talking about Phoenix being better than normal, but I feel like the option tire kind of brought that to life more than anything.
Yeah,
I don't like that they had the option tire.
I believe it's just one tire that they're running at Vegas. I think it's just the same tire. They're not.
Yeah, they wouldn't do the option tire.
No, not at those speeds. They no, I don't think they will, especially with the speeds they're carrying into the corners right there. I think we may see a lot of tire issues there. Yeah, and it's like I mentioned before, man. Like I circle Vegas as one of my favorite races to start the season because to me this is the race. Coda and Vegas are the two races that show what teams you need to watch out for the longevity of the season, right? Because the way it is now in the sport, road courses are just one of the main things of the sport. We can't get anything, we can't go around it or nothing. We just got to deal with it. Road courses are a main point of our sport, right? And you see what cars and what drivers and what teams are accelerating over there, right? Reddick, Bell, Kyle Busch looks pretty good. Mostly, Elliott, Gregson had a really good run there, so just kind of gives you an early indication. But that's why I love Las Vegas so much because
we're going to Las Vegas. Here comes Noah.
I know. Here comes Noah, hometown kid in Las Vegas. I did mention though, hey, keep an eye out on the 4. I'm not saying he might not have a winning car, but watch out for him. He may have a good run here.
Watch out. Well, you know who else is also a Vegas kid who is in a Toyota?
Riley Herbst. Riley Herbst. I mean, hey, I know he hasn't had the best of luck this year, but if there was a track for him to maybe get his first career top 10, I think he already got a first career top 10.
No, he's finished 17th every week.
No. I'm talking about last year when he ran it. I think he got a top 10. I think.
I think Talladega when Corey LaJoie ran out of town.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, and I like that. I like that take though, man, because I think Vegas is going to be a lot more fun. It's going to be better race.
Where did Riley get his first win in Xfinity?
Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad predicament.
Wouldn't put money on him winning, but top 10 could be a good bet.
It could be. I gotta see those odds, man. If it's like 500, if it's like plus 500 or higher, I might have to take it and everything.
For Riley Herbst, it'll be above. It'll be way above. It'll be good on.
Oh yeah. Guaranteed. No, 1000%.
I would say for Vegas, I would look for Kosovar to make a comeback.
Yep, I agree. Spire looks really good this year. I think.
Haley, I don't know. He hasn't looked that good.
Yeah, no. Like I look for Hocevar to bounce back here. He qualified great. He practiced great. The tire optional, all that shit, just kind of put him in the back and put him in a really bad spot. Look for Spire to rebound. Look for some of these guys to rebound. That's why, like I said before, that's why I love this race because you really are going to see who's got their mile and a half programs down to start the 2025 season. And Coda and Vegas are the two races to start the season that you want to circle as a NASCAR fan and say those are the guys you want to watch out for, right? Because it's just a really good early indicator of who is going to be winning races and who's going to be contending for a championship and for wins and who's going to be on your TV screen for most of the season. So, yeah, good stuff, Danny. I appreciate the talk. And
another one I would.
Oh, you got one more? Okay, you got one more. What's up?
More. I would say like he hasn't done much. He did just get his points back. I'd look for Briscoe.
Yep. You and I think the same way because I'd mentioned Briscoe earlier. I said, hey, watch out for him because it's still the 19 team. They still have a good squad. Briscoe's a good driver. Just let him get comfortable with Joe Gibbs and get under his belt a little bit, and expect him to maybe go for a win or two. You don't know. It might happen at Las Vegas, right? Gibbs has brought some really good cars to start the season. The only one that's really been struggling has been Ty. So we'll see what happens there. But Dave, thank you for joining the show, man. I really do appreciate that, and hopefully we'll see you back for another episode when we do this again.
I'll gladly do it again.
Yes, sir. All right, that was Mr. Danny Wells right there. Nice. I really enjoyed the calls today, guys. Really, really good episode. Some good takes right there. Hopefully we'll get more as we make the show bigger and get some more people in here. Let's get to our quick predictions for Las Vegas weekend. I don't really do this a whole lot, but since it's kind of a special episode, we'll talk it down. My pick to win this weekend, I'll go ahead and say it. I'll go ahead and pick Mr. Kyle Larson in the 5. I don't think Bell is going to win 4 in a row, but I do think he's going to run very good. I think he'll maybe get the lead. I think maybe some strategy will happen, some pit stop stuff. He'll finish probably in the top 5. Guaranteed top 10 unless something crazy happens right there. My underdog pick, if I had like an underdog guy to watch out for that could maybe go in there and kind of snag the win away, let me go with Chris Buescher in the 17 car, because Buescher is just so quiet, but man, he delivers some really good results right there. I'll pick Chris Buescher as my sleeper pick. Now let's go ahead and look at the Xfinity series for this weekend. We have Xfinity Truck and Cup this weekend. Ooh, that's really nice. For my pick for this one, I feel like experience is going to play a big role here. I personally, if I were to pick someone to win this race, I'm going to probably go with kind of a tough one, actually, because there's a few names here that I could see winning this thing. Do I expect some craziness to happen? Yes. Part of me so bad wants to say Sheldon Creed gets his first win, but I don't know. I don't know when, if that's going to happen right there. You know what? For my pick for the Xfinity race, I'm going to go with Justin Allgaier in the 7. That team's just won a championship, almost won Phoenix. I'll go Justin Allgaier right there. Yeah, I know it's a little bit of a safe pick, but the 7 team is just, they're good. They're really good. I'll go Justin Allgaier right there. And for the Truck Series, this one might get a little hasty right here. But for the Truck Series, I'm going to go with a little bit of a Cup guy running this race. I'm going to go Justin Haley in the 07 for Spire. Spire won at Las Vegas last year with Roger Carruth. I think he'll be good here, but I think Justin Haley could get the W for Spire in the 07. So my picks to win, Kyle Larson, Justin Allgaier, and Justin Haley in the 07 for Spire. No DNQs this week, so everybody makes the field. Yeah, I'm really excited for this weekend of racing, guys. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Next week, we should have a special guest on the show, hopefully to talk a lot about Las Vegas and how their race went. So, yeah. But this is fun. I really did enjoy it. For anyone that was listening at home or maybe did not listen to the live stream, you can follow me on Twitch. It's sloppy_Joe. We don't do live episodes every week, but for special occasions we do. And if you want to follow me in Discord, I will put a link in the description under the show on all the platforms here so you guys can join the Discord. So that way, maybe if you want to voice your NASCAR opinions and everything, maybe you might be a lucky caller that can come join us. I want to shout out all of our guests that joined: Rob Dillon, Jack Hammer, and Dub God Wells, all Discord users and viewers of my and supporters of me. So I really do appreciate that, guys. But yeah, great episode and everything. I had a lot of fun with this. I hope you guys are ready for a fun weekend of racing. I love Las Vegas. I've never been to this track. I hope one day that can change and everything. Again, if you are listening to this show on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, you can follow me on Twitch. It's sloppy_Joe. So maybe catch a live show. Maybe you can call in and talk about your opinions of the sport. And also join Discord as well. I'll put a link in the description for all the shows and everything, like for on all of them, so you guys can do it and follow and be part of the community, everything, guys. But really, really fun show. I really do appreciate it, guys. Make sure to follow, make sure to subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next week to recap Las Vegas and all the craziness in the sport. I'm Joey Stone, your host of the show. We'll see y'all later. Adios, my friends. Bye-bye.